Hi, guys. I was using my Xbox looking at the rewards menu and noticed that the console was very laggy. I started a game and it wouldn't boot. So I restarted the console. When I restarted it, it was no longer recognized by my TV. I had been noticing the menus a little bit laggy for days, since 1 or 2 months ago. My PS4 Pro is connected to HDMI port 1 and I will disconnect it to connect my Xbox One X. The intention is to show that the TV input works and that the problem is with this box. My Xbox One X is from 2018. Now I will connect this box. The TV should recognize it automatically. I am not going to cut the video or speed it up because I want to document everything that happened. It has been very strange what happened with this box. In the end it has been solved, but I am very afraid that it will happen again. In the video you will not see how to solve it because in the end I got tired of recording until it was solved. But I will explain it. Before recording the video I got the console to be recognized, but I got a black screen. Then you will see that happens during the video. The black screen in principle is a good sign. It means that the console is recognized by the TV. Now this box should be recognized, but that doesn't happen. I turn on the controller because that would indicate HDMI failure but not the system. If the console detects the controller, it would mean that the system has booted. The boot of an Xbox One X usually takes 1 minute and 20 seconds, but in this case the console is not even recognized. Also, the console is making noise. The power supply is not dead. The input detects that there is a HDMI, but as if this is off. That is indicated in the image of the input. It looks like a sign of off in each port except in the 2 that has nothing connected. My PC is in the HDMI port 3 is off and shows the same. At first I thought it might be a failure of the APU or some other component on the board. The power supply couldn't be because the console was throwing heat out the back, making sound and displaying the front light. I then pressed the front button to see if it would turn off, but it did not. So the system had not booted, nor did the controller show any signs of having connected to the system. In the end I decided to do a forced shutdown by pressing the front button for 10 seconds and then disconnecting the power cord and reconnecting it. I had already tried before making the video to clear the cache by pressing the front button for 20 seconds and then removing the power cord. Now I will connect my Nintendo Switch to the same port where this box is to verify again that it is not the port. Anyway, you saw before with the PS4 Pro that port 1 did recognize the console. The Nintendo Switch is recognized by the input and displays the signal. Now I will connect the cable from the Nintendo Switch to the Xbox to rule out that it is not the cable. The Xbox One seems to still have the same problem despite using the HDMI from the Nintendo Switch. At this point I was already starting to get nervous, just thinking that I would lose my weekly streak of almost 25 points. I reconnected the HDMI from the Xbox, but to be honest, at this point I didn't have much hope. This time I decided to connect the Xbox to the HDMI port too. I tried to listen if the console was making any strange noises. There are times when the HDD head is decalibrated, it makes noises, but I didn't hear anything strange. After waiting a long time trying to hear the noises, the unexpected happened. The television started receiving the console image. Fortunately, now is when I get the famous black screen. That means that the console is showing signal through the HDMI output and the TV is receiving it. This is good news. I already said that this happened to me once before I started filming the video. I kept waiting with the black screen for several minutes. Basically, I had lost all hope. But at minute 16, second 20, something incredible happened. The console finally displays the console boot video, after 1 minute 32 seconds of black screen. The console will eventually boot to the system dashboard, but the startup screen will take more than 5 minutes to boot. Exactly, it will take about 5 minutes and 40 seconds, which is totally strange. If something similar happens to you, the console does not show an image or shows a black screen. My recommendation is that you leave the console on for a long time until it finishes booting. At first I thought it might be a hard drive failure, but it's strange. This hard drive is just over 3 years old and doesn't make any noise. But I still maintain the hypothesis. Despite having fixed the problem is still not fixed. I have already commented that since a month ago I noticed how the rewards application was crashing. Sometimes it did not load. With the games I didn't have any problem once started, and they didn't give me an error when I started them. Maybe once, I think I restarted the console and it was solved. But it is true that I had been noticing strange behaviors in the system for a few days before this happened. The last thing that happened to me was just today. I started a game and when it started it bugged the console interface. I could not do anything but turn it off. When I turned it on, the console did not show any image. Then it showed the black image and then it went back to not showing the image. Then that's when I started shooting video. That made me very nervous. I use my Xbox a lot, and I have a streak of several weeks with the rewards program. Nothing like this had ever happened to me before. Finally the console starts. That made me very happy. But the problem persists. You will see how the games do not start. None of them, they give data error. Now I will have to connect the network cable as I forgot I had disconnected the router when I turned everything off. In this part the video stopped, so I had to record another clip. That's why there is a cut. Now you will see what happens when I try to start a game. I get error 0 by 8,007,045D. This error means that the system fails to locate the files. It is a very common error in Windows 10. This is a game that is in the BD player. If you have seen the video at a certain time I ejected from the console. It is not a Game Pass game. The rest of the games that will give error are Game Pass games, except for one, Minecraft. Grounded causes a console shutdown. It was the last game I ran before everything happened. When I started filming the video, to be honest, I found it very strange. This also seemed strange to me, that blue screen before starting the game, as it comes up in other games as well. You will see, now the console shuts down without any sense. This time the boot from the logo to the menu was much faster. But all the games still don't work. All except Minecraft. I guess because it took up so little space it was not corrupted. The game takes a long time to load. As you can see, I can't run most of the games. Now I will give you the solution of how I was able to run the games again, and the system was back to normal. For the moment. I am part of the Insider program and I had a previous update. I am part of the update preview program. So I went to the Insider Hub and got out of the previous update program. That caused my console to have to update, but my console crashes every time I try to update, as it crashes with games. Another possible solution would be to install the firmware offline. Do not forget that it is very likely that the hard disk is in bad condition. I will report in the video comments if something happens to my console after it has recovered. Maybe this is happening to those of us who are insiders. The previous update can cause problems because it is a beta preview where insiders report bugs. I was an insider to be able to use the console game streaming to Android devices. The update can fail in the download, verification, and installation phase. It has failed me several times, but in the end, it ends up installing. You have to be patient if it gives you failures. If you get an error at 58% of the installation, try again, do the same if it fails at 89%. It will install for sure. If you have this problem and if you are insider, leave a comment. The important thing is that we can see the system again, so we know that the APU is working fine. Start doing other things and it will pass faster. After the checking process, I got this error. I thought it was an HDD error that would not let me install the update. I was already thinking about opening the console to check the HDD with diagnostic programs in a low-level format, but I hit the reboot console checkbox while I started to do things with the PC. After a while I went back to check how was this box. The update was installing, it was about 80%. At the end of the installation, this is how my Xbox One X worked. The console booted as it should and the game started without any problem. "1 minute and 20 seconds to boot the system. Now it seems to take as long as it should take. Now you will see how the games that before gave error at startup start again. I didn't have to reinstall them or anything. I will keep you posted in the comments on the status of my console. In principle, I think it was the beta update of the Insider program, or that the hard drive is failing in some sectors. My advice is to wait to see if the console ends up booting. Leave it on for a while. If the console manages to boot the system, you can also access the troubleshooting screen to check if it is still alive. I know that many users have been reporting this problem during the last few months. I just wanted to put my case on record. My console had never given problems before, beyond some game that crashes and throws you to the menu. But in a very anecdotal way, I just hope it doesn't happen again. Greetings to all and enjoy your Xbox consoles. Remember, exiting the beta program and installing the base build firmware may fix the problem, as it has in my case.